We're joined now by Jack Phillips and his attorney, Jim Campbell. Jack is the Colorado baker who recently won his Supreme Court case, but now finds himself in trouble again with the State Civil Rights Commission. Welcome, Jack. Jim, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, Jack, talk about, does it surprise you to find yourself in this situation given your recent victory at the High Court?
Yeah, it is surprising. It all started the day that the United States Supreme Court announced that it was taking our case back in June of 2017. That very day, an attorney here in Colorado called me up and asked if we could create a cake to celebrate sexual gender transition, and pink and blue cake. It's a cake that we couldn't create the cake because of its message, but we tried to make it clear that we would sell this individual anything else in our shop or other custom work, but we couldn't create that one because of my faith.
Okay, from a legal perspective, Jim, kind of explain as far as the legal details. This happened on the exact date that the Supreme Court handed down its ruling on the previous case?
Well, so the request came on the exact day that the Supreme Court announced it was going to hear the previous case. And then a complaint was filed soon thereafter, and then the Colorado Commission sat on it for over a year until less than approximately 3 weeks after the Supreme Court issued its decision in Jack's case, in which it found that this very same state commission and these very same state officials were hostile to his faith. They decided to double down on that and to come after him again by pursuing him in this other complaint regarding this request that Jack described for the cake celebrating a gender transition.
So, Jack, you declined to make this cake celebrating gender transition because of your Christian beliefs, correct? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the Bible teaches that God made male and female, and I believe that we don't get to choose that, and we don't get to change that. And I believe the government shouldn't be able to compel me to celebrate somebody who is trying to do that. We celebrate that by creating a cake for this occasion.
And Jim, you're filing a lawsuit against Colorado. Talk about that.
Well, Colorado, over the course of the past 6 years, has come after Jack relentlessly. They have turned his life upside down. And even after he won at the Supreme Court, they insist on doing it again. So we can't sit back and just allow this to happen. So what we've done is yesterday, on Jack's behalf, we filed a lawsuit against these state officials that keep coming after him. And we're making it clear that we're not going to sit by and allow this to happen. Jack has a right to return to his life, to go back to running his business, and to live consistently with his faith. The government can't keep harassing him simply for doing that.
And when is a hearing going to actually take place? Do you have any information on that yet?
Not yet. I imagine over the course of the next month or two, we will have a hearing before the court to discuss it.
Okay. Jack, in your lawsuit, you say that your future as a cake artist is threatened. Talk a little bit more about what you're concerned about.
Well, in part, this lawsuit is an illustration of that. If somebody were to ask me for any number of cakes that I decline to create, I don't create Halloween cakes, anti-American cakes that would disparage other people, including people who identify as LGBT. But if someone were to come in and ask me to create a cake that goes against my faith, and the Civil Rights Commission knows that there can't be hostile to my faith, all they have to do, it looks like, is go to the Civil Rights Commission, file a complaint, and I'll get sued again. And I would spend all my time trying to negotiate these lawsuits. And hopefully this filing with the federal court system against the Colorado Civil Rights Commission can put a stop to that. And I think,
And I think what Jack is saying here is that the state is essentially empowering people who want to harass him to file these complaints and to essentially bring him down by continuing to harass him through these discrimination charges. And so we need the federal court to step in and say the state can't allow that. The state needs to allow Jack to live out his faith, just like it allows other cake artists to decline to create messages that conflict with their beliefs.
And Jack, how are you seeing God at work in all of this?
There have been just many instances that I've seen things that have happened that normally wouldn't, that I say, God is really working this. They'd be long stories, but there are a lot of them. we're still in business. That's one of them. When the Colorado Civil Rights Commission ordered us to stop or to start creating cakes for same-sex weddings or get out of the wedding business altogether, we had to get out of the wedding business, and that was 40% of our income. So for us to still be in business today, that's, I think, miraculous, or at least, God's hand in this, that we can survive without that huge income and the adversity that it's brought. Emails, the phone calls, death threats, vandalism, all kinds of things. But God has been faithful, and we're still here.
And I did have another question for you, Jack. Talk about how your faith personally has sustained you during all of this. I mean, your case went all the way to the Supreme Court, another case you're dealing with now. How has your faith in Jesus sustained you during all of this?
My faith in Jesus Christ sustains me in everything. It's grown through all this, just to see day by day how many times and how many ways he's helped me. He's done things that shouldn't have happened or that we couldn't orchestrate. So my family's growing together closer. Everybody around me would say the same thing, that our faith is much stronger because of this.
All right, Jack, Jim, anything else that you want to add related to this?
One thing that's important to be clear about is Jack serves everyone. Jack would have served this individual that asked for the cake celebrating a gender transition. The question for Jack is, what does the cake say? What is the message? What is he being asked to celebrate? If that's something that goes against his faith, he has to decline. But everyone's welcome in his shop. Everyone's welcome to everything he sells, and he's happy to make custom cakes for anyone, so long as that cake is not inconsistent with his beliefs.
Okay. Jack Phillips and Jim Campbell, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate your insights.
Thank you.
Thank you.